Skip it up and that up. So in another devastating blow to the Electronic Entertainment Expo, Geoff Keighley will not be showing up to E3 2020. Damn, this is bad. Let's get into it. Do you have one of these? Do you have a Switch Lite or do you have a regular Switch? Then you should get a Satisfy gaming grip. They're a sponsor of this channel and I absolutely love their products. They make the Switch Lite and Switch really ergonomic. I use the grip on my Switch Lite especially all the time, and they also have awesome cases that you could store all of your accessories in, down to the power supply and everything else, all of your games. And there's also a link below in the description. If you use the code ReviewTech10, you'll get 10% off your entire order. I can't recommend these grips enough, and thank you to Satisfy for sponsoring these videos. So even though I have been talking about the demise of E3 for a few years now, it almost seemed like in 2018 E3 was making somewhat of a comeback. It had the most attendance since E3 2005 and things seemed kind of hunky-dory. Then 2019 happened and the Electronic Entertainment Expo and the ESA accidentally doxed a whole bunch of people that attended the event in 2019, like journalists, YouTubers. All the information about their phone numbers and addresses was put on the website publicly available, and people started getting harassed. Good job, ESA. That was a slick one, and that turned people off to the event. And on top of it, too, E3 has been becoming more and more irrelevant over the years. It got lucky in 2018, but just times have changed. There's a billion other ways you could get information about your favorite games console or favorite games company. And the internet is so interconnected now, everything leaks within seconds. So it kind of makes E3 irrelevant. There's like no surprise anymore when you watch E3 each year. I mean, there is a couple here and there that kind of slip through the cracks, but in general, 98% of the stuff that happens at E3, you know it's coming. And game developers and hardware manufacturers are realizing this too and skipping E3. We know Sony is not coming back to E3 2020. They skipped E3 2019 as well. And now Geoff Keighley, who's been part of the games industry, a journalist in the games industry for as far back as I can remember, and he now hosts the Game Awards, he's not going to E3 2020. He's, for the past few years, hosted the E3 Coliseum since 2017, and he's been going to E3 for the past 25 years. So it's a big deal that he's not going. He talked to GameIndustry.biz about why he's not going, and this is what he had to say. Given what has been publicly communicated about the plans for E3 2020, I just don't feel comfortable participating in the show at this time, Keighley told GamesIndustry.biz. I saw the E3 website leak this AM and said, you know what? I really need to let people know what to expect from me so no one is disappointed. This certainly wasn't an easy decision for me to make, but I think it's the right one for me, and I wanted fans to know before tickets go on sale. We're at an interesting inflection point between physical and digital events, and certainly E3 is in the middle of a transition, evolving from what was traditionally an industry trade show, he said. As someone who attended E3 for more than 2.5 decades, there are, of course, a lot of emotions. But when you look at it objectively, E3 is really just an idea about uniting the industry and fans to celebrate the medium on a global scale. The future of E3 will be determined based on how effective the brand is at delivering against that goal. I absolutely think there's a way forward for the brand of E3. This is just my take, but I think E3 needs to be more digital, global, and inclusive in its approach to connecting gamers and celebrating the industry. It's not really about who buys a booth on the show floor. Anyone who participated in the Game Festival on Steam around the Game Awards probably has a good sense of my vision for how we bring the world together around games. I'm always open to conversations with game publishers and partners about ways to evolve how we come together for industry events. No matter what, it's really important that we get everyone to participate in these events. That's something I'll look forward to doing at places like Gamescom and the Game Awards. Now, Keighley also pointed to another reason he's not going is that there was another data leak, not of the information and addresses of attendees and journalists and YouTubers. It was actually of vendors and game makers for E3 2020. Now, was it the leak itself, or was it the fact that he was turned off that there was another leak and the ESA should have protected that data better? I'm not sure. Maybe he's like, these attendees aren't that exciting, I'm skipping. Or, oh God, the ESA leaked some more stuff. Are you serious? Really, this happened again? So it is what it is, but that turned him off to going to E3 2020 as well. Look, again, like I've said, and it's not just me saying it, times are changing. There was a time, man, I could not wait. Even when I was kind of like in my gaming hiatus in the early 2000s, I was always excited for E3. I was always excited to see new tech. I was always excited to see new games because you didn't know a lot of what was going to happen until E3. But times have changed now, and throughout the year, everything leaks. We find out information about next-gen consoles before they're officially revealed. We find out information about games before they're officially revealed. We know virtually all about products before they come out. Even like the iPhone, the next iPhone, we know exactly what it looks like almost the whole year sometimes before it comes out because we're so interconnected and information can be passed so quickly now due to the internet. Just E3 is a relic that's still stuck in like 1998. And Geoff Keighley realized that. And to Nintendo's credit, they realized as well back in 2011 that, look, we're not going to have a full-fledged presence at E3 anymore. We may have the little treehouse thing that we do, but in terms of having a traditional show, we're done. Hey, check out our Nintendo Directs on our YouTube channel. And you know what? I used to criticize them for it, not thinking forward like Nintendo did, but they thought forward and they were right. They saw the future, and now other companies are seeing it too. That's why Sony, again, is not attending E3 2020, because times are changing, and E3 just isn't necessary like it used to be. Now, let's also keep it real, too. Look, Geoff kind of he hosts a show that's a competitor to E3. He hosts the Game Awards, and every year he's more and more invested in it, and he may be thinking, too, these guys are kind of my competitor. I should just kind of like keep to my own thing because I want to grow that more and not attend E3 like I'm buddy-buddy with them. I'm not saying he's doing it in malice, but it's his competition. So he wants to promote his show more and not promote E3 more. You go, and hey, to his credit, I'm not a fan of how the Game Awards is handled, to be honest with you. I think it's a little too much like a big giant advertisement the entire time. Not that E3 isn't, but he got Microsoft to show off the Xbox Series X and finally reveal what the console is going to look like, granted not in person, but through a video, at the Game Awards. So there's other expos out there and other shows kind of doing what E3 has done and arguably doing it better. So yeah, they're in a period of transition, but can E3 transition, or will it just be a show of the past and we'll forget about it? That remains to be seen. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one. Hey, if you enjoy my content, consider becoming a Review Tech USA member. I'll have a link below in the description. I live stream now on this channel all the time, and it gives you access to cool emoticons to use as well while I live stream. Again, link below in the description. Thank you for your continued support.